Hello everyone and welcome to the Boston Breakroom, episode 20, covering Rizzoli Isles, season 5, episode 4, Doomsday.
So this week's episode opens with this guy, and he's like going into a bug out shelter with a duffel bag filled with guns and all this other shit.
He's doing a test cycle because he does them every few months.
This time, the test cycle wins, and he dies.
Test cycle wins?
It wins.
There wasn't a competition.
Obviously, he's never had this issue before, and then suddenly he dies, like, when he's doing this test.
Yes.
And he essentially suffocates on some, what was the gas that they were putting?
I don't remember what the gas's name was, but it was something that was odorless, and, like, you wouldn't know it was there unless somebody died from it.
They figure out the cause of death, and they're trying to figure out who actually killed this guy, and Bob, the builder.
Can he fix it, though?
No.
No, because he
died. Meanwhile, this jerk, from the beginning, said it was the friend.
It's the friend.
And they finally figure it out, and they go and get the guy. His name was Scott, who killed his friend. I don't remember the friend's name.
His friend was Scott. Scott was the guy's name.
No.
Oh, you mean the guy who died?
The initial guy who died. I don't remember
Jim.
his name. They finally solved the case in the last, like, 5 minutes of the show. But on the personal front, Jane's still pregnant. Mara wants to buy a motorcycle with a sidecar.
She did buy a motorcycle.
She did buy a motorcycle with a sidecar.
It was one of her impulsive buys that she blamed on Jane's pregnancy.
Angela is trying to figure out what's going on with Frankie because he's being so secretive. We find out he's taking
Night course in like,
computer engineering.
yes.
But he doesn't want to tell anybody because he didn't think he would be good at it.
Mostly his mother. He didn't want to tell his mother.
Because he knows he'll probably never get in a homicide while Jane's there, so he wants to work in brick. Corsac is looking into retirement and taking the lieutenant's exam.
All thanks to his wondrous life coach, Kiki. This is my excited face. Because I'm not.
No.
There was also an explosion when they went to look at the place again, and Corsac he had a nice gash in his head, and
Jane got a couple scratches because she was further away than he was.
And her mother races to her when they're in when she gets back, and she's like, "Is everything okay?" And she's like,
"Breakroom,
not here," because not everybody knows she's knocked up. So
maybe she should start telling people.
Unless she's not past that whole 12 weeks yet.
Or she's afraid that they will put her on desk duty.
That too.
Probably falls on dislikes. I feel like there wasn't much going on, but at the same time there was too much going on.
Yeah, with the case I'd say yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Although, you know what? We did see a lot of Susie this episode that I really
Susie.
enjoyed. We saw her out of, like, her normal digs. We saw her out of the lab coat.
Her talking to Frankie.
But I mean, like, she was just down and she looked really gorgeous because we don't see her ever like that. And that girl's gorgeous. You go, Susie.
We'll move on to likes.
Okay. I liked the amount of Susie we had. Like, I just mentioned it, but I really enjoyed that character. I liked the whole sidecar thing. There wasn't a lot, but it was still funny. I also liked how Jane is slowly starting to act like her mother.
Yes!
And it's not even necessarily that they did it on purpose, but I think they're going to do it on purpose because it was really, really funny.
I like how she told Frankie that she would tell their mother he's seeing somebody. He's like, well, make it believable. She goes, alright, I'll tell her it's a stripper. Alright, that's fine. Yeah.
I like the amount of Corsac we had because for some reason they don't usually use him a lot. No. And this episode they used him quite a bit. Not only because of the whole retirement thing, but I just think in general they use
also don't really have a choice. Like, they have to use him as much as they're using him. Because it's only him, Jane, and Frankie.
That's true.
I like the lack of Kavanaugh. Like, he's been gone for the last couple of episodes.
Here's the thing about Kavanaugh. I don't like him and Angela together.
No.
So, and that seemed like the only reason he would be there. And they used him the first episode?
First 2 episodes he was there. Like, they didn't use him in the second episode. Like, he was there for the funeral, but he wasn't, like, an active member in the...
Right, and that's understandable. But I was glad that they did it that way. Because I think they used him too much towards the end of last season.
But even, like, before that, like, even though he's the lieutenant and he's, like, in charge of the entire, like, squad, he's not really in any episodes. And that's rare to see, like, in any of the crime shows that I've watched, it's rare to see somebody who is the head who isn't there.
That character does not do anything for me.
Let's move on to dislikes.
There wasn't a lot of Angela Rizzoli this episode. There was, but there wasn't. Like, I enjoy her, but there really wasn't any real need for her this episode.
No, it was basically her bugging Jane to bug her brother and find out what's going on with him.
And then to see if Jane was okay, but yeah.
I'm gonna get really tired of Jane and her mother arguing over Jane's pregnancy if they continue to do it. Like, I understand Angela is concerned, but she kind of needs to back off a little bit.
You think so?
Yes. But she's doing it in
She only did it because Jane got attacked like she did.
But clearly she was okay.
Yeah, but she didn't know that.
But, here's another thing. Did Jane even tell him that she was pregnant when the bomb went off?
No.
Probably not.
Okay, so what's your point?
I don't know what my point is. It's just annoying how Angela... Okay, I have a helicopter mother.
I don't think she's a helicopter mother.
You don't think my mom is?
Your mom is, but I don't think Angela is.
No, I think Angela is. Anyone who grows up with a Polish or an Italian mother has a helicopter mom.
I was an only child.
You see, you were an only child, but, like, my mom's constantly, like, still, even though I don't live at home, she's like... I mean, like, she can be concerned, but the way she, like, she knows Jane hasn't told everyone, but, like, no.
I think the only reason she did it was because she heard what happened. I don't think it was because of anything else. Like, I don't think she'd be up there just watching Jane all day. She did it for a reason.
I did like how Jane was, like, talking about her mother. She's like, she's standing right behind me, isn't she? I wasn't really into this case to begin with.
Me either.
It was kind of meh.
Yeah, the case in general just wasn't...
didn't do anything for me. Like I said, like, there wasn't a lot going on, but there was at the same time. Very, like, scattered.
I mean, you had the one guy and he died, they found out how he died, and then they found the other guy dead, and it was all very, well, how the hell did that guy get there? And then it was all very bizarre. And then the way that they got the guy in the end was they found a loose tree stump and threw a smoke bomb.
Perfect.
Like, that was way too easy. That was way too freaking easy.
I did enjoy all the Scooby-Doo references, though.
They must have been a lot of money to Scooby-Doo.
Seriously.
To let them use that, because they were saying every 2 minutes.
Seriously, in the first, like, 5 minutes, they said it, like, 16 times.
That's kind of... I just wasn't in the case.
No.
And there wasn't enough I just wasn't crazy about this episode.
On the case front, I wasn't crazy about it. On the personal
there
front...
wasn't much personal, though. I mean, with
Mara
was funny. That was funny.
I like how Mara is, like, planning, like, everything for Jane. Like, college fund, like, making her think about college fund and, like, future. I did like how Jane said, if anything happens to me, will you take the baby?
And I also like that opening scene when they're in the bar and the guy sent over a glass of wine.
Yes.
She's like, she's a lesbian! And the guy's like,
gay!
And then she goes, she's in her first trimester of pregnancy! Baby!
Ratings? Would do 2 ratings?
Okay. The case, a 7.
Yes,
I
was going to say that.
About it, like, at all.
Mm-mm.
You didn't get me invested in the characters. You didn't, you know what I mean? Just, not that we're always invested in the characters, but we weren't even invested in that, like, in that other guy's death, even after we learned who he was. We didn't really care. And for the rest of it, the personal front, even though there wasn't a lot of it, I'm going to say, like, 8.5.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Just wasn't there, like the past few have been.
The past, like, 3 episodes have been fantastic.
Amazeballs.
But yeah, this episode just didn't really do anything for me. Predictions.
We actually did see the previews this time around.
Yeah.
It looks like a comedy next time, and for some reason there's a British lady saying everything.
Yeah, we were like,
really confused.
Was she British?
Apparently there's like, somebody dies at a rich person's house, and Mara's like, oh, that's homicide.
Good job!
So, it's gonna be a comedy, hopefully.
Yeah. Or maybe it just appeared to be a comedy because some British woman was doing the narration for it.
It's very bizarre. We're just sitting there going,
bizarre.
We're just sitting here like, what the?
She British?
I don't know why a voice swayed us that much, but
seriously.
But really,
I wasn't expecting it. I've never heard a British woman do a preview for Rizzoli Isles.
Oh, not Rizzoli Isles, no.
Favorite response for last week is nobody because no one responded.
You all suck.
Thanks, guys. We feel the
so
love.
far, Lexi is the only person who's getting a prize.
Thanks, Lex.
Thanks, Lex. Lex answered last week's.
Guys, not know the power of free stuff.
I know, free stuff, guys. You're like, free stuff. No,
I'm not
interested.
Be bothered.
Sorry,
I can't be bothered for this.
Do you think Angela's being a helicopter mom like Shash does?
I do. I really do.
I do.
Because you didn't have a helicopter mom.
And by helicopter, we mean worries entirely too much about her children and, like, hounds them every opportunity she gets.
Although I will say my mother is worse than Angela Rizzoli.
Yes, she is.
Answer down below. You get free shit. Next week, we have
High hopes.
We have episode 5 of season 5, Rizzoli Isles, titled The Best Laid Plans. I wonder what that's about.
The best plans are getting laid. I had to. It was right there, and it's right there. It says it right there. You're welcome.
We'll be here. She'll be making stupid jokes
It'll
again.
be square. And
probably
it'll
be
be my
singing.
birthday.
It will be your birthday.
It'll be my birthday
She'll
next
be
episode.
7.
Yup. I can't wait. I asked for a lamb chop this year. A lamb chop party.
I'm so proud of you.
I know. Episodes.
20, that's like 4
That's
hands.
like more than 18.
But anyway, I think Angela.
Wait, what was she like? What is she like? That's a very technical description. Stop.
I'm sorry,
I really enjoy that character.
Mom.
Yes, because you're gonna bite all the skin around your nails. So
I
stop.
can't help it.
You can.
I mean,
hear the noise that's making. It's gonna bother me.
Ignore it.
I can't because it's gonna it rattles against the window.
Ignore.
If I hear it in this video, I'm blaming you. If you hear that rattling in this video, you can blame Shash because she told me to ignore it, and it's very, very difficult for me to do that.
It's very difficult for you to ignore anything.
Sorry.
I got high hopes for next week's.
High hopes. She's got high apple pie in the sky.
You done? I'm done.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe on BBC, but not
My
on
life
TNT.
story. My life story as a British woman that
I'm pretty sure
does it.
the narration in your brain is a British woman.
It is. It is, though, and you probably know what British woman it is doing the narration in my head.
Elizabeth Sladen.
It is Elizabeth Sladen.
Good job.
Thank you. I'm here all week. Try the veal.